All right, welcome back to another episode of the Parental Unit podcast. Today we have a very exciting episode, an episode that has been in the works, in the brain for months. I think it's been months at this point. We're talking about the 34-year-old, 52 Grammy-nominated, 12 Grammy-winning artist Taylor Swift. She has 10 studio albums, 4 of them re-recorded, and 6 world tours. I went to Wikipedia today and I was like, were all of her world tours, and every single one, all the way from Fearless, was a world tour. So she is just an absolute beast of an artist, and 2023's Spotify top global artist as well. So just an icon of a person. And who better to talk about Taylor Swift than a Swiftie, Ellie. She's a senior, she's a runner, she's a dancer, she's the co-founder of the Force Club at our school, and just a huge Taylor Swift fan. So, Ellie, welcome.
Thank you. I'm super excited.
How long have you been a Taylor Swift fan?
So my sister is 14 years older than me, and she would always pick me up from preschool, and we'd always listen to Taylor Swift. So I have been a Taylor Swift fan since Fearless, and we would always listen to those albums, and I just kind of fell in love with her music. And then once she evolved into more of a pop star, I also continued to follow her music and just fall more in love with the sound and just her story.
That's such a humble, Taylor Swift Swiftie origin story. I feel like that's so cute. Are you a country fan in general?
I used to be. I wouldn't say that that's like one of my main genres that I listen to now, but I listen to it occasionally. It has to be like a certain vibe. I think that when you're on like the boat on a lake day, I think that country's definitely kind of what I reach for, but not on a daily basis. I think I listen to more like folk music, acoustic. My goodness.
You got it.
And then Taylor Swift, obviously. But I wouldn't say that I listen to country a lot.
That makes sense. Can we go through like your rap? Do you remember who was on your rap? I feel like this is
Yes, I actually I was listening to my Spotify Wrapped just the other day. Obviously Taylor Swift was my number one. But I remember that Champagne Problems was my number. Yeah, Champagne Problems, Afterglow, Mirror Ball, All Too Well, 10-minute version, and False God were my top 5. So kind of spread out throughout the albums, but I think my number one album was Lover, which I found a little bit surprising. I usually listen to Folklore and Evermore, those kinds of songs, and then I was like, Lover? What is this doing here? Yeah. But I didn't really realize that I listened to it that much, and then once I scrolled through the album, I was like, wait, yeah, some of my favorite songs are on here, so obviously.
I mean, Spotify, it's always like you listen to something in like March and then you forget about it, and it's like that is I spent like hours listening to Lover, and I just forgot about it, so that makes sense. Do you have a favorite album of Taylor's?
Honestly, every single day I like focus on a different album, it feels like. So I don't think that I have necessarily like a favorite. But I definitely have some more that I tend to listen to, like Folklore, Evermore, Red. But I like Midnights. It's not one of my like top favorites, but I think I've been listening to that more in the new year. So we'll see. It kind of switches every single day, so you never know what you're going to get.
That makes sense. My one of my Swiftie friends, she said that like Midnights was like a grower for her. Like she listened to it, she was like, this is okay. And then she listened to it more and it kind of like grew on her. So do you have a favorite song off the top of your head?
That's so hard.
So it's so hard. I know.
I think that there's different moods and different vibes that you want for different occasions for Taylor Swift. Like to pick one song, That's so hard. I think that if I could only have one song for the rest of my life, I think I would listen to All Too Well. First of all, obviously the 10-minute version, but I think it's it's such a solid song, and I think that it shows so much artistic ability in her songwriting. And I think it's a good basic song to have. But man, that's a hard one.
Yeah, it's incredible how she like took one of her songs and like made a 10-minute version, and like the Swifties ate that up. So like she provided like a full course meal, and like the Swifties just keep coming back to eat at the All Too Well 10-minute version table. Like,
I think that, and also just the fact that Swifties have jumped on board with the Taylor's version. You know, when I first like heard that she was re-recording, I was like, is the fan base going to support her in this? Is the, labels like Spotify, Apple Music going to support her in this? And I think it's been a great venture for her, because everyone's really jumped on board, because Spotify started, if you like ask for a song to be played, the first thing that pops up is Taylor's version. So I think that it shows how strong her support system is around her. So
yeah. Do you know the story behind why she's re-recording all of her stuff?
I know that she doesn't have the rights to the original music. I think it's Big Machine Records has that. So she's not getting the profits from her music that she wrote. And so she's re-recording it so that she gets credit and she gets paid for that artistic ability.
Yeah. And I think she teased, what was it? Reputation with her VMAs outfit. She's so... like her Easter eggs are such a part of...
I love to see, like, I can never find them myself, but when I go on TikTok and I see like people trying to figure out when her next album's going to be released, some of them are like completely out of the blue. I'm like, how did you come up with that? But they're so interesting to just think about, like, and who comes up with these? Like, is this her, like, I don't know, her manager? Is she coming up with these? Like, I just wonder.
Yeah, I think it is her. I know she has like a lot of enjoyment. I remember watching a interview of hers and her being like, what was it? The Look What You Made Me Do video, like the music video. She's like, people have not found all of the Easter eggs. Like, maybe she's like maybe she's like stretching stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know, herself. Maybe she's like, this is an Easter egg and like it's impossible to like discover it. But that totally, I feel like, keeps Swifties.
Oh, 100%. It's definitely a great marketing game to keep people involved and just like looking for the next thing. Even for like simple like Instagram stories that she posts, people are like diving into it and really researching it. So it's impressive.
Yeah. And I remember I just heard Dua Lipa bought all of the rights to her music. And so artists... I don't think she's talked about Taylor Swift and like she wasn't like the main influence, but she just felt as an artist like really happy to know that all of her music is hers. So
yeah,
it's definitely like Taylor Swift's story has really shown like, there's so much value in owning your own music, and then you don't have to go re-record. But then that also like brought her so much success and love.
Yeah, so, like, I think it's kind of I don't know. You can see both sides of the story for it. So I think it's also kind of like an empowerment for all women to just kind of claim their artistic ability, even when people are trying to take it away. So I think it's a great message.
Do you think that Taylor Swift has a flop in terms of like an album or a song?
I don't like the song Me. I'm going to be honest.
I was literally going to say Me. Like, do you think Me is bad?
I don't think it's bad. I don't think any art is bad. Like, it's all subjective, but
true.
I don't have, like, any artistic ability, really. So who am I to say that that song is bad or that piece of art is bad? It's not my cup of tea. I wouldn't
so fair.
I'm not going to go out of my way to listen to Me. And that's okay. If someone wants to have that as their favorite song, like, go for it. I even heard some like theories, like, what if she played that as a surprise song on the piano? Like, I bet it will be like beautiful. And I was like, I think Me would be a great surprise song. But I think, especially like the music video, it was a lot. But I don't think it was a flop. It's just not something that I gravitate towards necessarily in my daily listening.
Mm-hmm. And so she's gone like pop, she's gone country, she's gone folk. Do you, in terms of her folk stuff, you said you'd listen to like Evermore and Folklore. Did Taylor Swift bring you into folk music?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I was definitely in like middle school, maybe even elementary school, definitely like I only listened to pop. And then once her folk albums came out, I started to kind of dive into that genre of music, and that's really all I listen to now. So I think it's interesting. Every album kind of pulls a different person. You have the country, you have the pop, you have the kind of folk music. So I think it's interesting that she can do all of those and successfully.
Mm-hmm. And she's brought so many people into folk music. Like, you're not the only person I've heard who's like, I had no idea. Like, there's so much enjoyment in this. I can find so much enjoyment in this style of music. So she just like, and then what's his name? Noah Kahan.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone obsessing over Noah Kahan, like male Taylor Swift. Like, it's like she totally brought that into the
for
mainstream,
sure.
So
yeah,
amazing. I think it's time we talk about the Eras Tour because
absolutely, yeah.
I don't have the facts pulled up, but like I think like $1 billion in revenue. Like,
I think maybe even more. I think $1 billion might even be.
And she's not done. That's the thing.
She still has an entire year.
She doesn't. I think she's done with North America.
Yeah, she's moving on to Europe, and she's done with South America too. So.
Right, she was in like Brazil.
So she's going to like Europe now, and then I think she'll come back to North America to finish up her tour, which I've tried to get tickets for when she's coming back, but that's a lost cause.
Let's start with that debacle. That was like madness. That was so like, I think like she cut off like a few weeks off of everyone who tried to get tickets live. So like collectively, I feel like she's killed like a lot of people.
I know.
Through this process. I mean, I attempted to get Eras Tour tickets, and I'm not, by no means am I like, I'm like maybe like a part-time like volunteer Swiftie. Like, I know some like
I love that though.
Yeah, I think like, and I think the same with like Nicki Minaj. I was sort of like, I'm just like a volunteer Nicki Minaj fan, but like I got concert tickets, so like I think I'm at least part-time, maybe in full-time Barb status. But Swift, like Taylor Swift, like Reputation is my favorite album. That was like when I got into her, and she haven't listened to it too much of the folklore Evermore stuff. Huge pop fan just in general, so I appreciate her pop stuff. But I was trying to get tickets, and just no way. I didn't get verified pre-fam. It just wasn't going to happen for me. And
I remember you went on my account to try to get them because I got verified fan, but also my friend did. So we were going to get my friend's ticket, and I was going to let you use my account. And then things just fell through because all the tickets went out. And it was I was surprised that we got how we did, because we didn't get them during the actual sale. Like, I think maybe 4 months after they ended the kind of ticket sales opportunity, I got an email, and it was like, you have access to 2 tickets. You have to confirm in the next like month. And I was like, this must be fake. Like, there's no way this is real. So I went onto my Ticketmaster account because I was like, let me log in and see what's going on. And then it was in my inbox there too. And I was like, no way this is real. So I called my friend and I was like, so, like, are you free Atlanta, April? Like, what's the deal? And she was like, oh, for what? And I was like, oh, to go see Taylor Swift, obviously. So we went to go see Atlanta Night 3. And I think it was like an unbelievable experience.
Yeah.
She wasn't able to go, so I brought Lauren with me, and we both are big Swifties, and our moms brought us, and they actually sat outside the stadium, and they were telling us afterwards, you wouldn't believe the amount of people that just wanted to listen to her. So they all sat outside the stadium. And I thought that was insane because they saw videos from Nashville the next weekend of people sitting on this pedestrian bridge just so they could see the Jumbotron with her on there. And I would like the dedication that her fans have just to hear her is incredible.
And I think I went and saw the Aerostorm movie a few weeks after in theaters, pretty late actually, but I ended up going to see it. And it's just so many people, that experience of just being surrounded by thousands of Swifties. I feel like that was what was brought such a strong appeal. Not just, you don't have to love every single Taylor era and album, but just being there with fans who are super nice to each other, super supportive of like other Swifties and other fans, trading the bracelets. She just bringing all these people together brought so much appeal to going to that show.
I brought my mom to the Eras Tour movie, and she likes Taylor Swift, but she's definitely not a fan. That's not something that she listens to even monthly. And then once she saw the movie, she was like, I am so impressed with this woman's talent. Like, this is incredible. Her performance, her singing, it's just amazing. And I was like, yeah, I mean, you think about how many people have planned out, have choreographed, are behind the scenes. I mean, it takes a lot of people, and she's just kind of the front woman, but there's so many people trying to put this show on, and it's just spectacular. You can tell that she's really planned things out so thoughtfully. And I think my mom realized that after seeing the movie, like a lot of other people. And so she's now started to listen to it. And she'll put it on in the car when I'm there, and she's like, oh, like, do you want to listen to like Lover or do you want to listen to Red? And I'm like, wow, like we even know the album names. And so her favorite song right now is August, which, I mean, can you blame her? I love August. Yeah. But I think it was such an accessible way for everyone who didn't get tickets, or if you did get tickets and you just want to relive that experience. So I thought it was a great idea on her part, and you just got to see different parts of the show that you didn't really get to see from your seat or your side of the arena. So I thought it was so unique.
And what were your surprise songs?
How You Get the Girl and I Bet You Think About Me, which was so interesting because Lauren, she really liked I Bet You Think About Me, and I really liked How You Get the Girl. And so it was like this nice little pair so cool. that we got. So
that's awesome. Yeah. And do you know if those were just like completely random, or she tried to tie them into like the city, or?
I think it was, I don't think that there was anything tied, but I know that there were like guesses of, like, I'd watch videos the night before shows would happen. Like obviously Welcome to New York would be in New York and that kind of thing, but I never saw anything for Atlanta. So I think it was just kind of what she felt like singing that night.
That makes sense. And I feel like it's kind of interesting talking about like bringing new concerts, bringing new fans in. I took my dad to a K-pop concert, and that he came home and he was like streaming and he was like knowing album names. Is like, she's my favorite, you know. So it totally brings in a new audience, just like the parents or the boyfriends who come along. And also, I feel like Taylor also incorporated a lot of just like the K-pop concerts were known for like trading items and like people like not just like dressing up, but like lots of fan interaction, and also like different light sticks and kind of like different like in seat, like every fan having their own light, and then Taylor doing the bracelets. That I feel like was so cool to see, not just on the screen, but that must have been awesome in the audience.
Yeah. It was great because it coordinated with every single song. There was like something going on. And so it kind of brought, even like if you were in the upper bowl, it kind of brought you closer to the action towards the center because you felt like you were a part of the show. And I agree with the whole like trading things, like getting to meet other Swifties when you're trading bracelets is such a interesting experience to get to connect. I mean, me and Lauren just kind of walked up to people and were like, hey, we have these bracelets. Do you want to trade? And they were like, oh, like, of course. And I never had one person that was like, oh no, like I want to keep my bracelets. Like everyone was so inviting and super nice. So it was such a great environment to just be a part of.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, kind of wrapping up, looking at Taylor Swift, like what her career looks like in the future, and kind of like where she's been overall. Do you think, like, how much longer is Taylor Swift going to go with her music? Is she going to pull it like into her 50s? Is she going to start a family? Like, do you have any guesses for like where she's going to go as a person?
I mean, the sky's the limit for her at this point. Like, I don't even know what to say for her next move because obviously she's still, like, re-recording. She still has Reputation and Debut to re-record. But I don't really know what's next for her because I know that her and Travis are dating right now. And so, but, I mean, they've only been together for a couple months, so I don't see her having a family anytime soon. But I don't think she'll stop even if that's the case. If she settles down, I think she'll still continue. And
we saw that with Beyonce, like 3 kids, still killing it, still touring. So, do you think the Eras tour is going to be her last tour? Like with her trying to wrap?
I hope not.
Yeah, I hope so too.
I hope like she has more albums in the future and she goes on tour because there's so many people that didn't get to see her live. And I mean, I'd love to see her again. She's such an icon and her performance is just amazing. So there's so many other people that want to see her. And I think that she knows that demand. Like she's in her, I think, her prime right now. Like she is beyond famous and she just continues to like break records and all of these things. So I think that she's going to continue for as long as she can. And I don't see her fame going anywhere. I saw some rumors of like, when is she going to become like unpopular? Or when is she going to do something that's like controversial? And I was like, I still think that the Swifties would support her. Like she's not very controversial, but I mean, who knows what could happen in the next couple months. But
and I forgot what year this happened, but I remember like the hashtag Taylor Swift is over party. Like she was canceled for something, and like she's come like that's so far behind.
I saw TikToks just yesterday about people like hating on Taylor Swift, and I'm like, what did she ever do to you? Like I don't even know. They were like, oh, I know this is an unpopular opinion, but I don't like Taylor Swift. And they like didn't provide any like details other than that. I'm like, do you just want to be different? Like what's the deal? Like just because you say it doesn't do anything. You got to be like, "Oh, I'm not a fan of her music." Like, okay, yeah, that's fine. You don't have to be the biggest fan of someone's music to appreciate them. Like you can still be like, "Yeah, I like Taylor Swift. I don't like her music like a true Swiftie, but I appreciate her artistic ability." So I think some people just want to be controversial sometimes.
Yeah. And either way, like whether you like Taylor Swift or not, she's raising the bar so high in terms of, I think also her like performance, her on-stage performance. Other artists are going to see this is what a single human being can do. And obviously she had a team of hundreds of people behind her, but you can take a person, you can surround them with incredible backup dancers, an incredible stage. I heard that stage was $150 million, but worth every penny. Yeah. Because you put it on, you record it, you put it on screen, and you move it around the world for, I don't know how many thousands of people are going to end up seeing her show, but I don't know if she's going to get up to 1 million, but who knows at this point. She has just have so many people attending those shows too, so.
I think it'll be interesting in the coming years to see what she does and then how the world kind of reacts to the Eras Tour, because I've seen so many articles about how she's impacted the areas that she's gone and toured. She's changed the economy at each of those cities that she's visited. And so I think it'll be interesting to see how other artists replicate the effects that Taylor Swift has brought upon different cities and countries at this point.
Yeah. And as long as we don't have another pandemic, then we should just keep getting more concerts and more artists just giving us everything. So that's just can't wait for the future. I have 3 concerts lined up this year. I'm just like, I'm going at it. I talked to Anna, and she said she'd never been to a concert. I'm like,
that is crazy.
Like, I tried to pull her to Leve tickets sold out immediately. Yeah. I'm gonna go see Leve in Canada, but in Atlanta, Nashville, like minutes.
Nashville is like one of the biggest concert cities in the world. Like, you gotta go out to Nashville, even though she's not a big country fan, but still, a concert's a concert. Like, it doesn't really matter. It's just like such a vibe. I think everyone has to experience it. So.
Well, Anna will go.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll go with her. Well, she'll be fine. She's too much of a music girly not to, so.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, Ellie, thank you so much. This has been so fun. I've broadened my Taylor knowledge a little bit. You've shared your lows and highs of Taylor. I mean, mostly highs. She just can't stop.
She's an icon and something that everyone can look up to.
Yeah, she is. Even if you don't like her, she has worked so hard. Period. You can't deny. She's
continuing to work hard, and she will. So it'll be interesting to see what the Swiftie Nation does next.
What was on her Grammy page? It has a quote from her. I'm intimidated by the fear of being average. And like that
Say true. Less.
Say less. Well, Ellie, thank you. This has been a pleasure. And have a great rest of your Swiftie day. I don't know.
Thank you, Nicholas. This has been lovely.
All right. Enjoy the snow. Take it easy. Stream some Taylor.
That's a great ending.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for enjoying another episode of Parental Unit. This episode was recorded on January 19th, 2024. All the information is pertinent, except I went to Canada and Taylor Swift has been to Poland at this point. So time has passed. I'm now in college, but life is great. So that's a win. I have 4 or 3 more episodes to release, and then I will start filming episodes with my college besties. So I'm very, very excited. Yippee! Oh, yippee! Can I hit it? I don't think I can hit it. There's a podcast studio on campus, and I can record really high quality episodes. So look forward to that. Today, I'm closing my eyes and I see beautiful hair, and I just want to congratulate you on your hair looking so amazing. And if no one compliments you today, it's because they're blind. So have a great rest of your day, and kiss kiss. Mwah.